Abimbola was a bright and cheerful 15-year-old girl living in a small, close-knit village in West Africa. Her days were filled with laughter, chores, and the dreams of a promising future. The villagers loved her for her kindness and her enchanting voice, which often echoed through the fields as she sang while walking. Abimbola, coming from the market with her friend, were busy talking. "I want to cook a very delicious meal for my mother today, if she allows me to join her in the kitchen." "Adesola, I trust you. You know I like the fact that you are always happy and playful." "Abimbola, because my mom taught me to always be happy and grateful to God for everything He does. That's why I'm always happy." They both walked home as they smiled together, filled with joy. On getting home, Abimbola joined her mom in the kitchen to cook. "Mom, hope you bought everything I sent you from the market." "Yes, mommy," Abimbola replied. "Good of you, my dear." "Abimbola, I want you to be very careful of men. Don't allow them destroy your life. I want you to be a very strong and successful woman in the future." "Mommy, I promise to keep myself for my future husband, and be rest assured I will make you proud, Mom," she said as she looks into her mother's eyes. The next day, Abimbola went into the village, sitting under a tree with her 3 other friends, playing, singing and dancing. They were all full of life and happiness. One fateful night, the tranquility of the village was shattered by the arrival of slave traders. They came swiftly and silently like shadows in the dark, capturing anyone they could lay their hands on. Abimbola, along with many others, were taken. Her cries for help drowned out by the chaos and terror. Abimbola's mom was killed by the war of the slave traders that ravaged their town. She was in tears as she was being captured and chained by the slave traders. The journey to the coast was long and arduous. Abimbola and the other captives were forced to march for days with little food or water. Most times they were never given anything to take throughout the day. Many fell sick and died along the way, their bodies left unburied in the unforgiving wilderness. Abimbola's spirit, once so vibrant, began to wither under the weight of despair and exhaustion. As they go through the forest, the slave masters keep flogging them to move faster with both their hands and legs chained. The journey of the coast where they would take their trip to the slave master's land was never an easy one. On reaching the coast, Abimbola was thrust into the dark hold of a slave ship. The conditions were inhumane. Cramped spaces, putrid smells, and the constant sound of suffering. Abimbola huddled in a corner, trying to hold on to any shred of hope, but each passing day eroded her resolve. The journey across the ocean was a nightmare, with many perishing from disease and malnutrition. As the ship sailed, Abimbola cried, thinking about the death of her mother and how she was going to end her own life. So all the promises my mom made to me to support me to be great in life is gone, she asked herself, crying. So this is how I will end it, she thinks. It was really a thing of sorrow to her, as she never expected where she finds herself now. Upon arriving in the new world, Abimbola was paraded in front of potential buyers, her dignity stripped away. She was sold to a cruel plantation owner, a man known for his ruthless treatment of slaves. Her new life was to be one of relentless toil and unimaginable suffering. Abimbola's days on the plantation were filled with back-breaking labor from dawn till dusk. The overseers were brutal, punishing even the slightest mistake with savage beatings. Abimbola's body bore the scars of countless whippings, her spirit breaking a little more each day. She longed for the days of her childhood, the warmth of her village, and the love of the family. One day, weakened by hunger and fatigue, Abimbola stumbled while walking in the fields. Her master, seeing this as an act of defiance, ordered a severe punishment. She was whipped mercilessly. Her cries of agony pierced the air. The pain was unbearable. The emotional torment was worse. The knowledge that she was utterly powerless and alone. Her master, seeing how weak she is, still ordered his slave heads to beat her and punish her. Abimbola was tied to two poles and flogged by the slave master's men while other slaves watched in pity. Later that night, Abimbola's master orders that she was brought to him in his room. He stripped her naked and forcefully had sex with her. She was being raped brutally by her master. This made her broke down even more. After the brutal beating and rape, Abimbola's health rapidly declined. She grew weaker with each day passing. Her body unable to recover from the relentless abuse and lack of proper care. The other slaves, though powerless to help, offered what little comfort they could, sharing their small food and trying to soothe her pain. Some slaves hold her tight and speak some hopes into her. Maybe she could revive her strength and think again. One quiet night, Abimbola took her last breath. The pain and suffering finally ended. Her spirit freed from the chains that bound her. Her fellow slaves mourned her deeply as they buried her in a shallow grave under the cover of darkness. Some slaves, seeing how she was buried, wept in tears, seriously down in emotions. Her final resting place was marked by the tears of those who had shared her suffering. Abimbola's death was a tragic reminder of the countless lives destroyed by the horrors of slavery. Her story, like so many others, was one of unimaginable pain and suffering, but also of resilience and unbreakable human spirit. Though her life was cut short, her memory lived on in the hearts of those who knew her, a silent testament to the enduring fight for freedom and justice. This is what the ancestors of many African nations went through just so we can remain as one Africa.